Good evening, students. So today's class is on, this is a different chapter. In the last session, you discussed about the basics of chemistry, right? And today's session, we are going to learn about the metals and non-metals. It's a new chapter and it's a very important chapter, even for the competitive examinations. So in order to understand the essence of or the properties of metals, non-metals, and metalloids, you are expected to have a refined understanding about periodic classification of elements. So you are expected to know all the 104 elements so that it will be, you can handle with greater ease. The whole chemistry you can handle with greater ease when you are well versed, when you are well conversed with all the 144 elements. Well, so I made an attempt in my previous sessions, so to enable you or to make you realize about the different elements in the periodic table. However, being in the infancy state, you are mostly learned 50 elements, and I appreciate all of you for at least memorizing first 50 elements. Well, so let us move on with the first slide. So this is how the periodic table looks. So this is the basic structure of a periodic table. You can see here, you can see my cursor. So these elements are called representative elements. These elements are called S block elements. So S block elements are called representative elements. Whereas S and P block elements are called representative elements. You can see this is a S block, this is S block, and this is a P block elements. And in between, so there are transition elements. Why the name transition elements? I'll explain here. It's a very interesting. As time progresses, you'll understand why these are named as transition metals or transition elements. You can see here the down. These are called F block elements. These are called S block elements. These are called P block elements. This whole block is called P block elements. These are called D block elements, and these are called F block elements. So these all about the basic skeleton of a periodic table. Well,
sir, I have a doubt.
Yeah,
So
please.
representative elements is S and P. D is transition metal, and the down one is
Rare earths. Rare earths. Rare earths means F block elements. What is it? F
okay,
block
sir.
elements. So again, I'll explain. Have a look. So switch on the video, all of you. Now you can see here the S block elements. You can see here S block elements are alkali metals and alkaline earth metals. Alkali metals and alkaline earth metals are called S block elements. I request the students to switch on the video. So here alkali metals and alkaline earth metals, these are called S block elements. Now listen carefully. The elements of third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth groups, they are called P block elements. The elements of third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and eighth. That means third to eighth group elements are called basically S block elements. So I request all the students to come in time. Okay, yeah, and have a look here. So S block elements are called alkali metals and alkaline earth metals. So P block elements are what? Third group to eighth group. Third group to eighth group elements are called P block elements. Well, transition metals. So what are the transition metals? The D block elements are called transition metals. The D block elements are called transition metals. And the F block elements are called rare earths or inner transition metals. Inner transition metals. Well, I hope you understood the classification of S, P, D, and F blocks. Well, now, so let us have a look at so the elements, the nature of the elements. So which state they are in? Are they in gaseous state? Are they in solid state? Or are they in liquid state? So let us see. So first of all, you can see here, students, first of all, in this slide, I'm going to concentrate only gases. Just have a look here. Students, here, you can see the one which is in the somewhat maroon color. So hydrogen is a gas. See here, this is a gas. Maroon color is a gas here. Similarly, nitrogen exists as N2. Hydrogen exists as H2. Nitrogen exists as N2. Similarly, oxygen exists as O2. Similarly, fluorine exists as F2. Chlorine exists as Cl2. And similarly, helium, neon, argon, krypton, and xenon, radon. These are monoatomic gases. Monoatomic gases, very, very important. Okay, inert gases. Helium, neon, these are 8th group elements. So 8th group elements are called inert elements, inert gases. So helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, radon. I repeat again. Helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, radon. So these elements are called what elements? So inert gas elements. So students, have a look here. So how many gases you have? Hydrogen 1, nitrogen 2, oxygen 3, chlorine 5, helium 6, neon 7, argon 8, krypton 9, xenon 10, and radon 11. So you have, so in the periodic table, you have these 11 gases. How many gases are there? 11 gases are there. Now students, very, very interesting. See here, in the complete periodic table, there are only 2 elements which are liquids. Can you see here what are the elements? Blue color. What are the blue color? Which elements are in blue color? Mercury and bromine. You can make a note, very, very important. Very, very important for the competitive examination. So mercury and bromine are liquids. Mercury and bromine are liquids. Now students, have a look here. So kindly switch on the video. Now listen carefully, students. Mercury is a metal. So liquid metal, they'll ask in the examination. Which element is the liquid metal? So what do you answer, students? Mercury. What do you answer? Mercury. Now, students, bromine is a non-metal. Bromine is a non-metal. So which is the liquid non-metal? Bromine. Which is the liquid non-metal? Bromine is the liquid non-metal. So I hope you are clear about the gases, right? So you have studied gases now. Now let us move on here. Now very interesting part. So have a look here. Now what is our chapter today? What is our discussion today? The discussion is about metals, non-metals, and metalloids. So what are the properties of metals? What are the properties of non-metals? And what are metalloids? So this is our discussion today, students. So have a look here. Have a look here. So which is in violet color, these are all metals. So S block elements, all S block elements are metals, and all D block elements are metals. So metals means S, D, and F block elements. So all elements of S block, D block, and F block elements, these are all metals. So all elements of S block, D block, and F block, all are metals. So I hope you are very clear, right? Now, very interesting part. Now, so we are going to classify metals, metalloids, and non-metals. Students, very, very important point I'm making. So metals, metalloids, and non-metals, all are present in P block. This is the P block. So this is the P block. This block is called P block. This block is called P block. So I am going to highlight in the next coming slides. Okay. So let us see first of all. So first of all, let us see. I'm going to teach you what are the metals and what are non-metals in the following slides very clearly. Now, let us see the metals. So you can have a look here. So now I am going to classify the metals. Have a look here, all of you. Now, so here, the one which is in the red color, what are those? Those are metals. Those are metals. So here you can see lithium, that is lithium, beryllium, sodium, magnesium, potassium, calcium, rubidium, strontium, cesium, barium, francium, radium. These are called S block elements. What is it? S block elements. So these S block elements are all metals. Similarly, you can see here, students, scandium to zinc, scandium to zinc, yttrium to cadmium, yttrium to cadmium. Similarly, lanthanum to mercury, lanthanum to mercury. So these are all D block elements. So all the D block elements are metals. Now you can see, students, here down, these are F block elements. Cerium to, this is cerium, students. Cerium to, what is this? Lutetium, 103. Lutetium. Lutetium is, sorry, 72. So cerium to lutetium. Similarly, thorium to lawrencium. So these are all F block elements. So all S block elements, these are S block elements, all S block elements. All D block elements and all F block elements are metals. Now, students, you can see here, the one which are in blue color, the one which are in blue color. The one which are in blue color are what, students? Non-metals. What is it? Non-metals. Try to understand, students. These are non-metals. So see here, what are non-metals? You can see here hydrogen here, helium, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, neon, phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine, argon, selenium, bromine, krypton, iodine, xenon, astatine, radon. So these blue color elements are called non-metals. These red color elements are called metals. So what are the red color elements? S block. What is this? F block and D block elements. Now the P block elements only, non-metals and metalloids are there. That is a very notable point. So in the P block, you will find metals, non-metals, and metalloids. Yeah. Now have a look here, students. Now, what are these yellow part? Students, what are these yellow part? Boron, silicon, germanium, arsenic, antimony, tellurium. What are these, students? Metalloids. What is it? Metalloids. So what is a metalloid? We will see in the following slides. So I hope you are very clear about metals, non-metals, and metalloids classification in the periodic table. Well, now students, so let us move on to the next slide. So what are the facts about metals? Let us see here. Metals are usually solids. You can see iron, copper, cobalt, nickel, copper, gold, silver. These are all solids only, right? Yeah. But generally, there is an exception. Student, there is an exception. What is the exception? Mr. Sandeep, what is the exception? Sandeep, unmute. What is the exception? Good. Next. Ritvika.
Yes, sir.
What is the exception?
They are chromium and copper.
No. Mercury. The only metal which is liquid. What is it? Mercury. That's why you have to listen well.
Yes.
Okay. Good. Very good. Now we'll have a look here. Metals are all good conductors of electricity and heat. You can see copper or silver, several plate you take, for example. So if you hot rice is served, it's very hot, like, because it is conducting. It is conducting. Now, metals are very shiny. They're strong and malleable. So what is the meaning of malleable? What is the meaning of malleable? Vaishnavi, switch on the video. Vaishnavi, what is the meaning of malleable? Malleable means easily you can transform into one shape or in another shape. Intrinsic shapes. For example, gold you take. So gold ornaments you are making or not? And gold ornaments, very intricate shapes are there or not? That is called malleability. That is called malleability. I hope you are understanding, right? Now so you can see here some of the examples of metals. brass, aluminium, cast iron, etc. Right? Similarly, so can you see here some of the properties of metals? Have a look here in this slide. So they have good electrical conductivity. So copper wires. Can you see copper wires are electrically conducting? Similarly, thermal conductivity, heat is conducting. Alloy formation. Alloy means two metals you can mix. Steel, for example. Steel, iron, and carbon is mixed. Right now. So similarly, and in the gold also, copper is mixed. Right? Opacity. So opaque means you can't see clearly see. Ductility. What is meant by ductility? Can you tell me? Ductile means what? What is the meaning of ductility? Find out and tell me in the next class. What is meant by ductility? Brittlity. Okay. Luster. That will mean shining. Malleability already conveyed to you. It has good mechanical strength. Sonorous means what? Sonorous means looking very attractive. Okay. That is what is sonorous. Yeah. Now let us see something about non-metals. So today I'm discussing about the basics of metals, non-metals, and metalloids. So you can see there are poor conductors of heat and electricity. So what are the non-metals? They are poor conductors of electricity. For example, diamond you take. Diamond is a poor conductor, right? Nitrogen is a poor conductor, right? So try to understand, students. And they are very brittle in this. Brittle means what? It easily break. Easily they break. So they can be a gas or a solid. For example, hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, chlorine. Do you agree or not? They're all gases. Agree or not? Very good. Now there is exception here. What is the exception? For liquid is there. What is that? Sivatmika. Switch on the video. Sivatmika and Vaishnavi. Sivatmika. Yeah. Could you tell me what is the liquid non-metal? Vaishnavi. Unmute. Ritvika.
Yes, sir. Bromine.
Very good. So bromine is the liquid non-metal in the periodic table. Only one non-metal which is liquid exists. What is the liquid metal? Already conveyed to you. Vaishnavi, are you there? Vaishnavi, are you there? Okay, fine. So let us move on. Okay. Now, students, so now let us see the difference between metals and non-metals. So, students, metals are lustrous and their non-metals are dull. They are good conductors, whereas they are bad conductors, right? So they are having high melting point. Naturally, these are generally students. So for example, iron, cobalt, chromium, they are having very high melting point when compared to non-metals, right? They are having high density, but whereas they are low density and brittle. Brittle means easily they break. These won't be broken easily. Okay. Ductility already asked you, but here it is answer is there. You can cables, you see, cable industry is a very big industry. If you want television or computer or mobile, anything you require a cable, right? So that's why ductility is very important. So if they are not having the property of ductility, you can't draw it into wires. The cable industry doesn't exist, right? Understood what is the ductility? Yeah. Vijay Sandeep, could you tell me what is the meaning of malleability and ductility?
So malleability means they can be beaten into thin sheets and they can be drawn into any shapes, sir. Whereas ductility means they can be drawn into wires.
Excellent. Very good. Yeah. Next. Now, so opaque. So these are opaque, these are transparent. Okay. Opaque means you can't see it. Okay. Sonorous means already I told you they are looking very attractive. Okay. Next. So metalloids. So students, in the periodic table where the metalloids are lying, Tanish, could you answer, Tanish? Unmute. Where the metalloids are present in which block? S block, D block, D block, or F block? Tanish.
Sir?
Metalloids are present in which block? Which block? block? Metalloids are present in which block? P block, na? Okay, fine. Yeah. Now, so let us see what are these metalloids. Boron, silicon, germanium, arsenic, antimony, tellurium, and polonium. These are all metalloids. You have to memorize this. Okay. So what are some of the facts about metalloids? So students, have a look here. So these properties, metalloids properties are in between metals and non-metals. Very, very important point. So the properties of the metalloids are in between metals and non-metals. That's why they are called metalloids. They are also solids. So for example, silicon. The computer industry will not exist without a silicon chip. The silicon is a metalloid. Its properties are in between metal and non-metal. I hope you understood. So now you can see students here. You can see students here. Sandeep, focus here. So you can see these are metals. These are non-metals. So in between, what are there? Metalloids are there. What are metalloids? Boron. Somebody can read out this? What is this? Ritvika, read out
It's
this.
boron, sir.
Boron. Next, what is this? Next one.
Silicon, germanium, arsenic,
Good.
antimony,
Good.
selenium, and I
Tellurium.
don't know the
Yeah,
last.
tellurium, astatine. Tellurium, astatine.
Tellurium.
Astatine. Yeah, good. Next. So let us move on. So some of the properties. Already told you, these exist as a semiconductor. They are, see, try to understand students. Metals are good conductors. Non-metals are poor conductors. So these are in between. They conduct electricity at high temperature, but not at low temperature. They are in between. Very important point. So semiconductors conduct electricity at high temperature, but not at low temperature. So at high temperatures, metalloids acts like a metals. At low temperatures, they act like a non-metals. Understood, students? Yeah. So, and also, you know very well, they used in solar cells, computers, okay, silicon chips, germanium chips. These will be used. So these are the some of the properties of metalloids. Now, students, so you can see clearly. So metals, non-metals, and metalloids. So S block elements, D block elements, and F block elements here are not represented. They're all metals. So these are all non-metals. So non-metals are found in only which block? P block only. And metalloids are found in P block only. So in the P block, three types of elements are present. What are those? Metals, metalloids, and non-metals. Right? So let us see. I mean, these already you have seen the properties, right? Of metals and non-metals. Just I am recapping once. So you can see appearance is lustrous. These are non-lustrous. So they are hardness. These are hard. Generally, they are soft. And malleability. They are malleable. They are non-malleable. These are ductile. These are non-ductile. These are good conductors. They are poor conductors. So heat conduction. These are about the heat conduction. These are about the thermal conduction and electrical conduction. So I hope you understood. Now you can see. So these are the differences between metals, non-metals, and metalloids. They're all metalloids may conduct electricity at a high temperature, and low temperature they act like a non-metals. Okay, these are the some of the differences between metals and non-metals. Again, you can have a look, students. Here, this is the P block elements. P block elements. You can see boron, silicon, germanium, arsenic, antimony, tellurium, and polonium are which metals? Metalloids. Okay. Similarly, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine, selenium, bromine, iodine, and astatine are non-metals. And these are metals. Metals, metalloids, non-metals. Okay. Now, I open the session for discussion. I hope you understood. So, the difference between metals, non-metals, and metalloids. Yeah. So, I hope you all understood this. Yeah. Tanish.
So once can you show the slide
Yes,
of
sir.
metal properties?
Slide off
Metal properties.
metal properties. Have a look here.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. What is your doubt? You want to make a note? Yeah. Anyhow, this recording lecture also will be posted in your
Yes,
tab.
sir. I took a screenshot, sir.
Yeah, and you can no need not required. It will be in the recording form. You can again look it. Okay, you can do it. Good. Yeah. Students, any doubts? So, how you are feeling the classes? Pretty comfortable?
They are good, sir. Yes,
Nice.
sir.
So put your effort. So have you remembered all the 50 elements, first 50 elements? Shall I ask some questions?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
I
Good.
learned.
Okay, sir.
Okay, you don't have periodic table with you, right? I assume.
No, sir.
Good. So, okay, Tanish, could you tell me what is
Yes.
element number 37? 37.
Sir, element number 37, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, rubidium.
You're looking somewhere. Huh? Rubidium. Good.
Sir,
Very
no, sir.
nice. Very nice. Yeah. So, Vijay Sandeep. So, Vijay Sandeep,
Yes, sir.
what is element number?
What is element number 38? Strontium.
Right?
Right? Yes, sir.
Good.
Yeah.
So, Ritvika, what is element number?
Yes, sir.
What is element number 48?
48 is cadmium.
Good. Okay. Sivatmika. Sivatmika. Sivatmika.
Yes, sir.
What is element number 50?
13.
10. 33.
Sir,
Element number
33.
element number 33. Arsenic. Right?
Arsenic.
So thank you all. So I hope we'll see in the next session about the properties of metals and chemical reactions, chemical properties you are going to see in the next session. Is it all right? So
Yes,
thanks
sir.
for bearing. Thanks for bearing. Have a good day. See you.
Yes, sir.